Cedar Rapids is Iowa's second largest and best city. It's really a city that's much more diverse than people would expect, with a terrific history of coming back from disasters.
The Douglas Starch Works explosion was the worst industrial accident in the city's history. It is fundamental for us to remember. I think that as a city, as a community, like any community, we go through trials and tribulations. We go through both successes and disasters, and I think it's good to remember.
After the explosion, there was a concern that maybe the community would be abandoned, that the Douglas Starch Works wouldn't be rebuilt, and that didn't happen. The facility was rebuilt, jobs were created. As a matter of fact, more jobs were created after the rebuilding, and that's kind of similar to what happened in 2008. 2008 wasn't the first time that Cedar Rapids was flooded, but it was the most significant flood in our city's history. Hopefully, we'll never have to deal with water that high again. It was unexpected. It was a perfect storm, so to speak, of a wet spring, an early snow runoff, and just heavy, heavy rains.
Where we had a $6 billion disaster at the time. It was the fourth worst disaster in U.S. history.
When you look at the recovery from the Starch Works explosion community-wide and industry-wide, you see an awful lot of parallels with what Cedar Rapids and Eastern Iowa and the Midwest went through in the early 2000s with the flooding. I think it's important for us to remember communities past because it's always changing. You really have to have a fundamental understanding of where you've been to make informed, intelligent decisions about where you want to go. It's about looking at the examples and looking at the events that shaped our story so far and using that to kind of bravely face the future.
You have to have hope and say that we will come back. This community has and will step forward and help in any way we can, that we can recover and rebuild and move forward.